本気の覚悟ってば見せてやる。
Come back over here. Yeah, I've been waiting a whole month to get footage of this train. I just found out a spot to park, walk about a half a mile so I can get into that little break in that gate right there so I could go film this train. Long ass train with all this graffiti on it. And as soon as I get here, another train is coming. But it looked like it's got some graffiti of its own, which is gonna be dope because since it moves, I could just stand in one spot and get all the footage. Say hi, baby. So we've come to the Columbus Public Library. It's huge. I've been around the whole country, been around hundreds of libraries. This is probably one of the most opulent libraries I've ever been to. I believe that the Rockefeller family is responsible for building this. That said, also, a lot of people don't know. If you live in America, man, don't sleep on these libraries we got out here. Ready to go to the library, baby? Eating animal crackers. I thought this was pretty interesting. This guy's name is Horace King, and he helped build the bridges here in Columbus. He was born in 1807. At the age of 22, he was sold to James Godwin, who saw the potential he possessed. He gave King the opportunity to become educated despite it being illegal in Alabama for slaves to be educated in the 1830s. King was also given some income for his work for Godwin. He then was able to gain his freedom and live in Alabama, despite it being illegal for blacks to be free and live there in 1846. He helped plan, most likely directed the building of several bridges in Columbus. Okay, Aura's doing the most. Aura. Relax, please. Sacred Sons is an event hosted by men for men who want to embody their sacred masculine energy. I know that seems loaded and maybe vague even, but what it means essentially is it gives men the power to be vulnerable again. I think that's the biggest takeaway that I personally got from attending that event. It's very important for anybody who loves freedom and autonomy to feel safe to be vulnerable. And I think men were conditioned to cut that part of ourselves off. And it's important to reconnect and be open to that and embody that. And that's why it's important for men to go to Sacred Sons. I can't really sit here and tell you everything that happened there because it's very personal. And yeah, out of respect for the men there, I'm not gonna sit here and describe every little thing that took place there. But what I can tell you is that you can expect me to show up in my personal relationships with a lot more love, empathy, and respect and honor. I've always been the type of man who felt that other men never have a reason to be less than 3 feet away from me, within breathing distance. Like, if I can smell that breath, you're a little too close. Eye contact is a big thing. Like, we either stare at you because there is a problem, or we just want to send you a message, or we don't look at you at all. We don't acknowledge your existence because eye contact is a big thing. Fuck is you looking at is like one of the main phrases that you'll learn living in New York. So within the first couple of hours, we were doing exercises where we were holding deep eye contact with each other, with other men, and they were very close, like a shoulder's length away. So with that said, I want to shout out my accountability buddy, Nicholas. You're the man. Like, I met this guy within like the first hour. So there were things to connect on right off the bat. Also want to shout out to my homie Ricardo. He was 16 years old when he got there. Being so young, showing up, doing the work, being enthusiastic about doing the work, and sharing his 17th birthday with us. I think that was super cool. Shout out to Cosmic Cuisine, Chef Deuce. Yo, shout out to Chef Deuce for nourishing all the men for those, 4 days, 3 nights. The meals were amazing. I would highly suggest and recommend that you attend one of these events. They have them all over the country. I'm sure you're gonna start to hear the term Sacred Sons in conversation circles all around you because it's constantly expanding. Shout out to all the brothers who've already walked the path, who have fully integrated what they've learned and continue to be a part of the brotherhood. Like I said, I was one of those people who believed that I would never show up to an event like that, who thought it was kind of, no disrespect to my homosexual brothers, but I thought it was gay as hell. And that's why I would never do it. And I just thought it was kind of too frilly, too flimsy for me, too feminine for me. Take from that what you will. And yeah, I think that says everything I want to say about Sacred Sons. It was an amazing event. And I just think all men, even if you feel like you would never do something like that because I was one of you, you feel like you don't need something like that, nor do you want it, just go. I'm going to tell you like my man Adam told me, lean into the edge of your comfort zone. Shout out to Adam Jackson. It's one of the realest dudes I've ever met on this planet. And that's also a reason why I think men need to go, because it's not too often in the physical that you get to meet somebody that inspires you, another man that inspires you to become your highest potential of yourself. That's another reason why I think that Sacred Sons is very much needed. Another takeaway that I got from attending Sacred Sons was there's so much power and community, and I think the world at large, the powers that be, don't want to see that. They don't want people being connected, period. They always divide and conquer us. But there's a certain power in men connecting, especially because we're so disconnected. We're conditioned to believe that we have to be a one-man show and made out of steel and invulnerable. And our connection with other men is only towards a certain end, not with each other. So it's super powerful, and I highly recommend it again. Can't recommend it enough. I'm definitely going to continue my experience. Damn, there's so much more I wanted to say. I said, here's something that I wrote in my phone about Sacred Son. I needed another man to look me in the eye and see me, hold me intimately, and tell me that I'm safe. I needed to see a man do amazing things and look me in my eye and tell me that I could also do those things. I think that was also one of my biggest takeaways from Sacred Son. As you can see, this bench might look a little familiar to you. This landscape might look a little familiar to you. And the reason for that is because your boy wants to be closer to his daughter, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish that. If that means I have to move to Columbus and actually get an apartment, we put in an application because I didn't do it all by myself. Anybody who knows me knows that I have a huge block against doing anything that further entangles me into the system. into Babylon. We put in an application for an apartment here, and that application got approved. So I'm gonna stay in the house until I can actually move into the apartment. The move-in date was the 5th. Today is the 8th, and they're just playing games, which is why I don't like doing things with Babylon, because Babylon always plays games. When you give people power over your life that should not have power, who don't have the competence to carry out the duties that they've been hired to do, such as a property management in the apartment that I'm about to move into, because it's just been a big trial, and it's been a big, huge inconvenience trying to move into this apartment, but it's towards a greater goal. So I'm staying in the house until I can actually move into this apartment, which should be any day now. So progressions are being made. Lady and I have started couples therapy. We've both officially had our first session with our counselor. Our next session will be a joint session. So yeah, progressions are being made with that. Also wanted to shout out Valadia for shouting out my store, shouting out the website, shouting out the YouTube. A lot of traffic has come through that because she did that. Thank you, Valadia, for doing that. Thank you to Valadia's mom for helping me out with the apartment application process. If it weren't for them two, I probably would still be up in Atlanta living in that motel room, $240 a week, in a place that I didn't want to be. Allow me to plug my website myself. It's www.EyeNero.com. It's EyeNero.com. It's the same handle as my Instagram. Look at Aura, she's so cute. She's been watching me this whole time in the window. I love that girl. She's so cute. Yo, I'm gonna end it here. Today's the 8th, tomorrow's the 9th. I wanted to be out tomorrow, so hopefully I said everything I needed to say. Again, shout out to Sacred Sons, shout out to Adam, shout out to Kevin, Kareem, Kai, Yusuf, who else was it? Chef Deuce, Jonathan. Shout out to all the guys, man. Shout out to all the Sacred Sons, all the brothers who've walked the path. Shout out to everybody doing the leadership training, which I'm probably gonna do myself. Yeah, man. The future is so bright. I will always hold on to that truth. Hi. My cuties. All right, I'm gonna get back to the dad life, eat some breakfast, cuddle my baby. Thank you for staying in tune with the video. I'm sure this is probably one of the longest videos I've ever done. And yeah, stay in tune for the next one. If you haven't already, I'm gonna do the cliche thing here of asking you to hit the like button, subscribe, maybe even hit the bell for the notifications, maybe even. And I'm out of here.